Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome again to another video where we talk about investments, businesses, how to come up with new sources of income, and so on and so on. So, ladies and gentlemen, today in this particular video, we're going to be talking about how we can allocate 20,000 as your salary or your income. 20,000. Remember, the fact remains is that 40% to 60% of young population, here I'm talking about the Gen Zs, all right? 40% to 60% of young population, most of them lie on this category. They earn an amount close to 20, they earn between 20 to 25, no, actually 20 to 30K. Let's put it 20 to 30K. They normally earn amount 20 to 30K, but remember, majority are here. Majority are here. And when I talk about this category, I'm talking about students in campus. I'm talking about fresh graduates who are in internship, those who are doing attachment, and so on and so on. And then there are also those young people who don't have any kind of an employment, but they rely on a source of income from informal sector. So this is the kind of person we are talking about. And we want to look at this particular person and see how they can allocate their budgets, right? We want to see how they can be able to allocate their budget, because you'll hear some of them or most of them say that the kind of amount that I'm earning cannot allow me to be able to allocate resources to all these kinds of areas. John, you are telling me to save. What should I save earning 20,000 and yet I'm living in Nairobi? What amount do you expect me to save? Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be creating a very good budget here that is going to accommodate all of those things, and even make sure that you have put aside something at the end of the day to make sure that we have some financial security that we always talk about. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is another reason that you should stay subscribed in this particular channel, because this is normally what we talk about. If you are watching this video from YouTube, just make sure that you give me a subscription, turn on the notification bells, and of course, leave me a comment there based on what we are discussing here and tell me what you think about this particular video. Right. And also, if you're watching me from TikTok, you can also give me a follow, and you can leave a comment there. So, ladies and gentlemen, without wasting time, I want us to go deeper into this and see how we can come up with a budget and allocate our income here, so that we can help this young person here earning 20,000 to see that they can be able to allocate everything and actually satisfy their needs, even earning 20,000. But before I continue, ladies and gentlemen, remember, when you are earning 20,000, this is not a permanent situation. It is not a permanent situation, because if someone is in internship, it means that you are just doing that for a short period of time. Then you shift to a higher position. That means it's going to give you a higher income. So it's not a permanent position. So the allocations that we are going to do here are not lifetime allocations. These are just allocations for a short period of time before now you adjust to another budget that is going to be more suitable according to the lifestyle that you want. Now, we want to allocate a budget of 20,000 Kenya shillings that is being earned by a person living in urban centers such as Nairobi, Kisumu, Mombasa, and so on, and any other town. Remember, when you are living in an urban center, it means that the cost of living is likely to go higher than that, compared to that person who is living in Ushago, and so on and so on. So let's see. Now, we said anytime you receive an income before you do anything, anytime you receive an income before you do anything, the first thing that you're supposed to do is pay yourself first, right? The first thing that you're supposed to do is to pay yourself first. And when I mean you pay yourself first, is by putting aside some amount of money that you put in an investment account that you can rely on as your financial security if things go wrong. For example, if you lose your job, either informal or informal sector, you have some funds that you can rely on for the time being before you get another job, right? Now, according to our budget here, having an amount of 20,000, I normally say that we use that rule of 50, 20 to 30, whereby 50% you allocated to your needs, all right? 20% you allocated to your wants. No, I mean 30% you allocate to your wants, and 20% it goes to your savings. But here, I remember telling you that these budgets normally applies to bachelors or those people who doesn't have a lot of responsibilities. Because if we have a parent here, you are having kids, sometimes you are going to realize that this is not working for you. But if you have a very good source of income and that is giving you some amount of money, you can also be able to rely on this. Now, but for this person who is earning 20,000, it might be very hard, because if you take 20,000 of 20% of 20,000, that is approximately for 4,000, and it might not be able to make sense. So we are going to adjust this accordingly and see how we can distribute this to see that you have allocated everything and you have taken care of everything, including your own happiness. All right. So before anything else, you need to pay yourself first. And in this particular budget, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to set aside 10% of your income. So wacha tuseme savings here, savings stroke investments. And I want us to set aside 10% of this. And 10% of this is going to be 0.10 times 20,000. This is going to be 2,000. So if you less this, we are left with 18,000. Now this is what, so here is income after investments. So if you if you remove your investments of 2,000 or savings of 2,000, you are going to be left with 18,000, and this is what we shall be allocating to our budget, and see how much you can be able to how much you can be able to allocate to other to other aspects in your life. Now, the second thing after you have saved your money is thinking where you live. Think about where you live. Think about rent. Think about landlord. Because again, if you don't pay rent, then you will not be able to pay this to earn this income, because you need to get you need to pay where you live. You need to take care of where you stay. So we are going to go to rent. Now, according to me, a person earning 20,000, you should not pay more than 25% of your income. Now, if you're earning an amount of 20,000, you should not pay more than 25% of your income. And 25% of your income is going to be 5,000. What do I mean? Now, if you're earning 20,000, if you're earning 20,000, then you should allocate rent to go to 5,000. There's someone who is going to tell me, John, 25,000 now utapata nyumba wapi 5,000? Siku hizi hakuna nyumba za 5,000. Well, ziko. It depends on where you go and search your place of living, because kuna watu wanataka kuishi in a very expensive residential area. Without forgetting that there are some places that you can even actually get as low as 4,500 houses to live. Now, your luxurious life, sometimes you need to adjust a little bit here, because you can also look at the income that you are getting. So here you don't have to exaggerate a lot in terms of the money you are getting. You can adjust a little. Kama ni una earn 20,000, you can be able to go low. Yeah? You know, adjust your life accordingly depending on the amount that you are earning. When you start earning 100K, you will go to that room that you may want to live. But as per now, when you're earning 20,000, you need to adjust yourself, because tena huwezi jikuna mahali ufikie. And because when you start kujikuna mahali ufikie, actually you start struggling na unasikia uchungu hiyo mkono. So that means you'll be straining yourself, even your life, depressing yourself for nothing. So just adjust yourself and make life interesting. All right. So rent, 25% of your income, 5,000 is very applicable here. Now, as we continue, you can also see whether you can adjust your budget depending on how I am putting it. So rent, 5,000 is very applicable here. Now, the other thing that you need to take care of, is transport, because of course you are going to move from one place to the other. So we are going to include transport here. And if I was you and I'm earning an income of 20,000, I would allocate transport 3,000. Again, when it comes to transport, ladies and gentlemen, if you realize that you have a low income, make sure that you live in a place close to where you are working. Do not live so much far from where you're working, where you're going to spend a lot of transport. For example, you find someone paying 250 shillings per day just for transport purposes. If you pay like that, then it means you are almost consuming a half of your income to transport. So you need to make sure that you have minimized this particular item to the very low level by staying somewhere close to where you're working. For example, if you're working in Thika, you can consider staying in Juja. If you're working in town, you can consider staying in areas like Githurai, Kahawa West, and so on. And so here, where you are going to get cheap houses that are not going to cost a lot. Remember when I was explaining about rent, make sure that you look for a house in a residential place where you're going to get affordable and close to the amount that I'm telling you there. So that is transport. 3,000 I think could be enough. That one could be about approximately 75 to 80 shillings per day if you're working for 5 days. And if you're working for the whole 7 days, then you can chip into your wants that you are the amount that you are allocated to your wants. You can remove some little there and be able to adjust accordingly. So that is a transport, ladies and gentlemen. You can allocate 3,000 to your transport. All right. The next thing that you need to take care of, and because here we are talking about the largest group of people here is young people. You are talking about young people. You can allocate data and internet and data and internet. Because we are talking about young people, this is a very huge investment because young people like staying online, scrolling, and so on. But remember, again, you need to check on your income. Do not scroll a lot until you spend a lot of money in your data or your internet. Buy Safaricom data. And I give you a very good way of doing this. Instead of buying Safaricom data, why don't you install Wi-Fi in your house that is going to be a little bit cheaper? Because Wi-Fi, you are going to pay approximately 1,000 to 1,500 Kenya shillings. Now, if you have a neighbor that you can share with, you can install one router and then you can share with the other one just to make sure that you have minimized the costs. And that one, if you spend 1,500, then both of you will spend 750 shillings per person. So here I'm going to include 1,000 for data and internet. 1,000 for data and internet. And I strongly feel that this one could be enough. You don't have to buy Safaricom data now when you have your Wi-Fi in the house. All right. Now we are still continuing, ladies and gentlemen, and we are almost through with our budget. We have rent, we have transport, we have data and internet. At least we have taken care of the most sensitive things. Now let's go to the food and other utilities. Food and other utilities. Food and other utilities. Food and other utilities. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about food and other utilities, we are talking about now what you're supposed to eat, what you're supposed to use in your house, buying of those utilities like soaps and so much and so and just a little shopping. So you're not going to exaggerate again here. This one I would allocate it 7,000 Kenya shillings. 7,000 Kenya shillings. Of course, this one is going to take the largest portion of our income. 7,000 Kenya shillings. I feel this one could be enough. Now, this is what I normally tell the young people. Unajua kuna wenye wanasemanga, oh, mi sitaki kutumiwa vitu kutoka nyumbani, ati viazi, magunia, osi. Now, you have to be a little bit creative here so that you can put some more money in your pocket. For example, when you realize that you are living in town and your income is so low and your parents are able to offer food from home, for example, now like viazi and such, you don't have to go to buy everything, because the moment the moment you buy everything, it's become very hard for you to allocate this particular income. If you have an opportunity whereby you can be able to identify those things and actually get them for free, that one could be very advantageous, because it means you're not going to strain in this particular point of food. But I think food and shopping of 7,000 could be enough for a single person who is earning this particular amount, if you don't have a lot of things to take care of. You don't have to exaggerate things, eat meat every day, eat chicken. You have to. The biggest problem with young people is wanting to have a luxurious life. For example, una feel utaki kupika, you want to go to a hotel, eat kuku chips every time, you want to take a lot of drinks. Then this one is not going to be enough. Of course, you are going to run short of money, and then you might even end up eating your rent, or you might even have eat, your transport, and so on. So you need to be very careful here on how you allocate your budget. Now, how much are we having here? That is 8. 8 plus 5, that is 8. That is 9. 9 plus 6, that is 9 plus 6. 9 plus 7, that is 16. All right, so we have 2,000 to go. All right, now remember, you're supposed to have some fun. You're supposed to have some fun. So you are going to allocate some amount to your wants. For example, if you want to go out, you want to chill out with friends, you want to buy something for yourself, a shoe or a dress. So I'm going to allocate again 10% to your wants, and that one could be 2,000 Kenya shillings. Now, when it comes to the young people, we have this weakness of wanting to achieve everything at once. For example, if it's once, if you want to go out, at the same time you want to travel, at the same time you want to buy clothes, at the same time you want to buy good food, at the same time you want to do this and this and that. Now, this money is not going to be enough. That means if you're earning this particular amount of money, you need to kujinyima first. You need to take the priority. For example, if this particular month you said, now I did not take myself in the last 2 months, so let me travel somewhere and see where I can do, or maybe probably go and eat some good food somewhere. You can decide to buy a shoe at this particular moment. Then next time you can allocate your 2,000 somewhere else. Just make sure that you have some fun. Okay, I cannot guarantee you that you are going to have a lot of fun, because of course 2,000 is a small amount of money, but at least it's something that you can be able to go somewhere, chill out with friends, you know, kuchoma nyama, like you can even contribute for. It's not about ukue solo. You can even go as a group, and then 2,000 plus another 2,000, you have a lot of money and you can be able to have some fun. All right, so that is it. And then when you do the adding up here, it's going to be 18,000. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that is how I would come up with my budget. And this is how I used to come up with my budget when I was earning 20,000. And it helped me a lot, because we said this is not a permanent situation. This is a temporary situation. And with the time, you are going to even have a higher income, and you're going to adjust this budget again. You're going to allocate more money here, more money here, more money here, more money here, more money here. And of course, you can be able now to start styling up depending on how you want to live your life. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. If you have anything to do, or you want to say about this particular video, you can put it on the comment section. If you want any clarification, or maybe any inquiry, any business, you can always reach me out through my contacts that are always on the description. And I normally put it there for people who want to have a conversation with me. So ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That is our video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I have helped someone there. Now, if you have anything to do with, or you want to say something according to this particular video, you can put it on the comment section. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. That was my time. See you in my next video. Have a nice one.